Okay. You know, I said that I would do this chest process, everything moving off camera. I think I'll do the actual material moving off camera, but I do want to do the designing and planning, wood gathering on camera. So I think that process is pretty interesting. So what I think I'm going to do right now is just have a good section like this for each bit of back wall here. And then I'll do these sides here. And I'll kind of make it so that it fits on these little sections here. Now this structure right now breaks one of the rules that I had at the start of the series where I said I was going to get better at building. Yes, does this wall design look amazing and is absolutely better than stuff that I've made before? Oh yeah, 100%, yeah. But it's a box. It's a box shape, and I think my solution to this, my little bend of the rule, because I already really enjoy the look of this thing and I put a lot of effort into it, is it's a cool box, just like this. But B, the direction in the future will not be still box-like. It won't remain this shape. This won't remain the shape. This won't remain the shape. As I extend up and reinforce with materials like stone, wood iron, black marble, dark wood roofs are going to be a really interesting thing. So this one is going to go up another floor or so, but it's going to extend outward. And this is going to extend outward. And I might just end up making some nice little bridges that connect a good variety of these things in the future. And being, you know, it would be a really cool thing to have. But for now, I'm fine with these being kind of boxes right now, because they are A, cool boxes, and B, they won't remain that way forever. Now, my idea here, this is going to be the wood area. I need coal, because we're going to make some signs. Let's get these signs ready. Yes. Okay. I think I'll set up the sign here. Just under there. So, do... it's just wood. Ugh. Can't see that shit at all. Ugh. Let's maybe make it yellow. That's a little better. It's fine, I suppose. And let's set up more stuff over here to a degree. What do I want this to be? I don't want it to be food. I can leave food storage in here. That's fine. This area can be reworked into a cooking area. So that's totally fine. Yeah, I think I'll put some cooking chests over here, and then I'll leave the cauldron there for now. And eventually all of this will be like oven area, and windmills will be nearby as well. But I need more ideas for chests and shit. What do I want them to be? So there's a lot of food chests right now. I need old gear. Old gear I can put up on item stands eventually. I think I'll do that, so I'm not going to have an old gear chest. I think I'll not have that. Resin is an absolute must. So I need a resin, I need stone. I need like eyes or just portal. I should just call it portal mats. No, I'll just call it like eyes. And then just mats in general. Like I should have one that's bones. No, it's just like misc mats or mob drops. Mob drops. Mob drops. That's a classic. That is a classic. Mob drops. Alright. Let's get another one up. Let's see now. This one I believe we'll have over right here. Do we want this to be red? Sure. We'll have this be like cores. Stone can be over here. We can just leave it black, right? Stone. And then we can have something here too. Question is what? We have a good variety already. But what? We got resin, we got all that. We got stone valuables. Yes. Valuables. So potions and all of that we can have in mobile cart system. We can have those kind of wherever we want. But we absolutely want our money to be... Let's see. Valuables. This is a good setup so far. Looks good, looks great. Okay. Now I'm going to begin the long and arduous process of moving all this stuff, but off camera. I'll record if there's a raid or something in the process. See you when it's done. Okay. I'm done. Yay, I'm done for now. Look at all this cleaned up, changed up stuff. There's a bunch of stuff here. Let's get the old burger circling on. Woohoo! We got all sorts of stuff going on here now. Look at how good this looks. Let's actually fix this up. Hang on. Look at how good it looks. Yeah. Yeah. It's looking good. Everything is looking nice. We've got some carts here. These are just really easily accessible, huge storage pods that I can have all sorts of important stuff like potions, readily made good meals, tools. There's going to be one for arrows eventually that I'm going to have. All sorts of special arrows. We've got specific mats for portal, carve. That's going to be long ship too eventually. Oh yes, it is phenomenal. And now the actual storage area itself. Woohoo! Yeah, valuables, wood. I added a resin chest to this for now. We've got all sorts of mob drops, eyes, trophies, whatnot. We've got cores, stone. Yes, it's all very limited right now, but it's pretty nice. And speaking of limited, our trophies are very limited. So, right now I do want to decorate the base with trophies, but we don't have any. No! So, I'm going to do some farming. I'm going to grab some honey. And I'm going to... Well, I'm going to go fight some Grey Dwarves and then talk about what I want to talk about for today. And we're going to go trophy hunting. Yay! This will also be very good for leveling up and then also getting mats like stone, eyes, resin. Really get, you know, fill up that storage area and also just set up some nice wood for it too, you know. Grey Dwarfs also drop wood. So we're going to be killing like, I don't know, killing like 3 to 4 or 5 birds with one Grey Dwarf, you know? You know what I mean? That's a saying, right? I just made that up. But yeah, we got a bunch of food here. Get some turnips planted. That's 15. Carrots, we're just going to plant all of this. Stam. Ooh, gotta be careful here. Can barely see the little things. Yep. Inefficient planting. Oh well. Oh well. There we go. We're out. Okay. Let's repair this cultivator. Put it away. Let's cook up some good stuff. And then we can head out. Alright. Let's get some of this. Ooh, squeezing it on in. Usually when I cook so much that the storage just gets kind of absurd. I just have so many ready-made meals, but I've been very efficient this time. Cooking minimally. Minimal overlap in the meals. I'm just all set. I'm all set for all this stuff. Alright, we're good. Let's go over to the gray portal. Let's get some grinding on. Get that trophies. And then we can decorate the base, the village, all that. Alright, where is the Grey Dwarf nest? I hadn't marked the nest. Is it over here? We got Grey Dwarfs over here. We also got blueberries. Cam, draw me a trophy. I don't even have a single shaman trophy. Ah! Don't make me destroy the stuff. There's a nest. Okay. A lot of good mats from this. But I need trophies now. Chest. Yoink. Alright, let's go mark this nest, yeah? Oh, what are you attacking, sir? A skeleton of sorts? Must be. Whoops. That's fine. Oh, level up. 28, right? Polearm sturdy! We did it. Okay, let's mark this. Nesty. Got an extra Y in there, I guess. Gotta be careful of these fellas slinging rocks. Don't want the Grey Dwarfs to spawn behind, then aggro on you, and then hit the nest with a rock. That'll put a distinct lifespan on the nest, and that's not good. Bit of a rocky area. Let's go out over here, where it's kind of flat. Okay, no trophies yet. So, I've been talking recently about video game identity and just keeping the same sort of mold, just game to game in a series or whatnot, or just things like that. Talking about certain cases in like Final Fantasy series with the combat style and such. And what's interesting is a lot of people will point to games which have certain aesthetic options, certain aesthetic similarities. Like I mentioned this last time with Final Fantasy, and I guess it's been referred to by a lot of people who actually know what they're talking about and have actually been fans of the series as like a can of paint. You just put like a Final Fantasy can of paint over, say, your Final Fantasy 14 and 16. And mechanically, it doesn't make any sense. It's not remotely similar. But because we've put the same words on, because we have the same, like, similar time to time, like, enemies that we've just ported in, you know, we branded it. We've given it a brand identity. But it's, you know, it's just like a spray can of paint that we've just gone over a series with. And that, you know, seems to satisfy some people, although I tend to feel like 14 is just super popular because the MMO community is lacking. Not in terms of, like, necessarily people, in terms of game options. You know, the quality of the games, on average, is horrible. It's horrible. And so, MMOs have a huge reputation that they've deserved for being, on average, not very good. And what happens? What happens with that? Ooh, 2-star Shaman, take a look at that. Take a look at that. That's cool. Give me a trophy? No. And what happens is, in order to, for people to keep mediocre games afloat. Did I just get a trophy? Oh, there's a trophy. Yes, I got it. I'll start with the dandies. Fuck yeah. Brute trophy. In order for people to try to keep certain games alive, they have to shill. And a lot of people have been pointing to it. Look, the identity, it's the same, even though it's the spray can of paint identity. And no, it's not the same because the mechanical identity is not the same. Again, the most important part of a game is the game. Believe it or not. What a fucking crazy thing to say, right? No. Obviously, it's the game. And so you can't fool me with aesthetics because Final Fantasy's already made so many different spin-offs that I don't really care about. There are some that I really, really love, and some that the community also really, really loves that I might not like, or some that the community really likes and that I don't really care for. So a lot of the community really likes tactics. I don't care for tactics. A lot of the community doesn't like Echoes of Time. I love Echoes of Time. And you can't just put a spray can or a can of paint Final Fantasy over everything. Be like, look, don't you want to consume product? No, I don't. And the community, the actual Final Fantasy fans, who have been paying attention to Final Fantasy entries that Square has been dropping, knows this already. And it's only Final Fantasy XIV fanboys, borderline cult members, that have basically been saying, hey, don't you guys know? Don't you guys know? It's Final Fantasy, guys. It's Final Fantasy, guys. It has all the same things. Oh no, I know. But you probably don't own every single Final Fantasy spin-off, do you? Because it's Final Fantasy. You know, if you did that, you'd be a collector. It's not a normal thing to do. That's why we give them the title of collector. Because this isn't just an ordinary thing. Nobody just goes out and buys everything that a company makes of a certain franchise just because. No, they have to have a certain advanced interest in doing so. It has to be a specific extra bonus meta interest in doing so. You can't just automatically fucking gaslight me into being like, yes, this is the most normal thing that people do. Like, no. Obviously, it's like they don't even do it themselves. You know, 14 fanboys don't even do it themselves. So, you know, it's like, who cares, right? I'm not gonna just get a game because it has Final Fantasy in the title and it has all of these fancy things. Because, well, even the 14 fanboys don't do that. Obviously, they don't do that. So, they can't convince me just by saying that. They can't convince anybody just on the metrics of just saying that. Other than people who were already going to be collectors in the first place. But with that aside, even people who are like collectors Final Fantasy XIV isn't a game that you can really just like have and own. It's being updated, there are expansions on it, it's like a proper living MMO. And so even for people who do collect things for the can of paint identity, Final Fantasy XIV is like the last thing. Same thing with 11. That would be like the last thing that they would try to do. They would try to see if the game would die, most likely, and then they would collect what they could, now that there is a finite amount of things to get. But considering it's a living, ever-growing asset, a living, ever-growing thing to collect, there's going to be a good amount of collectors that don't even go after that. And so who are they trying to fucking convince by saying, oh guys, you know, it's this, you know, it looks like Final Fantasy, it has the things that are aesthetically Final Fantasy, so surely you want to buy that, right? It's like, no. No. I'm not a strange shill. Like, they're not convincing themselves. They're not convincing Final Fantasy fans. They're not convincing people outside the community, certainly not. They're not convincing collectors. Who are they talking to? Who are they talking to? Like, people saying, oh, it's not really Final Fantasy. Like, I understand what they're trying to get at between the lines. But the response being, oh, well, you know, it's got the aesthetic. It's got the can of paint Final Fantasy on it. That doesn't matter. Who are you trying to convince? That doesn't fucking matter. If I wanted a game that was very much like DPS focused, okay? That was very much enemy AoE focused. We gotta worry about AoE with all bosses. And it was kind of dark. There were some bits and pieces here about certain things that are pretty intense in the storyline or theming of the general game. I would play V-Rising. Because V-Rising just hit 1.0 recently. And it has the mechanics of DPS, a lot of boss AoEs that we have to worry about, and it's an action game on top of that. I can play it with friends, so I can enjoy my multiplayer aspect. And at that point, it's just like, all we're convincing to play Final Fantasy XIV at this point are people who like MMOs, because they're MMOs. Not for any other reason. It's just, oh my god, MMO, I must play. And I'm sorry, this type of consume product chill activity is not interesting to me. If I asked very good community member Scales what he really likes about Guild Wars 2, and that he used to play, he doesn't play anymore, what he really liked about it, like what's there interesting to look at for the game, what got him into it, I guarantee it won't be as simple as the the Guild Wars 2 aesthetic. It won't be, oh, it looked like Guild Wars. That might be a supplementary part of it. That might be an added bonus. Hey, look, Gurdorf Trophy, Bird Trophy. But that's not going to be the main thing. It's not going to be some sort of weird copium that him as a fan of that game is going to have. He's not going to share that because he has some goddamn dignity and he plays and enjoys the game for what it is. And so if 14 fans can't even describe that to people trying to be like either on the edge of enjoyment or not interested in the game, and they're like, oh come on guys, well it just looks like Final Fantasy, or it has an amazing story, guess what, I'm gonna watch that story online for free on YouTube. I'm gonna watch it online for free. I'm gonna do that. And I'm gonna not regret a single second of it. Oh yes. No regrets at all. And I also get to save a shit ton of time wandering back and forth for the goddamn awful quest design in 14 as well. Or the slog that everybody, including the 14 fans, know that the first 140 hours of the game, aka Realm Reborn, is. Even though apparently in Endwalker, all the story from A Realm Reborn ties into the main story again. So you could pay money to skip it. Yeah, I know, pay money to skip 140 hours of the game. That's an option that people still fucking absolutely ridiculous community. And that's the favorite option, but then you miss a story that's actually relevant for one of the later expansions. And it's like, oh my god. Disaster community. And then looking up further in that community, like trying to find actual criticism from the outside, looking into that community, is impossible. What I do find twice as much is people saying, basically mocking the shit out of anybody who dare critique their game. That's what I see twice as often. That's what I see. I see there's a YouTuber who only him can critique Final Fantasy XIV. And that's the only person that I see ever recommended generally to people who want to see, criticism. He can have criticism. Nobody is responding to him. I typed in about 5 to 6 different keywords last night, trying to see if people were critical or responding to this guy. No, nobody was responding to him. It's just him responding to other people. So we have this like messiah-like figure where only him, it's only one guy can critique this fucking game. And it's just, what a toxic mess of a fucking community. Toxic positivity all around. And so just fucking steer clear. Steer clear. Goodbye. You know? Not interested. Rather play V Rising because of the mechanical identity is similar. Sorry, I like other games other than fucking Final Fantasy. I like other IPs other than Final Fantasy. I like other genres. But you gotta convince me in a serious way that these things are in X and Y game are worth caring about. You gotta convince me. And people saying, well, consume product, it's Final Fantasy, is not fucking convincing. It's actually convincing me to stay the fuck away from that community. But yeah, nah, bad times, man. Stay away, stay away. Check these trophies out. I'm gonna need a little bit more trophies. I want Greydwarf Shaman trophy, without a doubt. I want that Shaman trophy. Now, something else with mechanical identity that I want to talk about is when a game also loses its identity, not in a rapid change like just the creators of Final Fantasy 14 and 16 and stuff. Not with like this rapid change where they're just like, I'm just gonna make it something else, It's like Final Fantasy has been, ever since 12, morphing into what 7 Remake was eventually going to be. And I get that it was a significant change at the time, from your 10 to your 12. Yeah, absolutely. 100%. But you go look at the changes between 7 Remake and then 16. And it's like, oh god, we went from action RPG to pure action, sure, but what was expected was a 7 Remake style combat system, but with a complete story in a single installment. And that story would have been pretty cool, would have been pretty great. And we didn't get that. And so it was a really strange change. It's like, oh wow, we had something pretty cool going on, and it's not here anymore. And that is another just like can of paint thing where it's like, look, it's Final Fantasy. It's like, okay, well, you aren't modern Final Fantasy, because it's not 7 Remake style. You aren't classic Final Fantasy. It's can of paint. You just got can of paint on. It's just that's it. You have some of the aesthetic holdovers of Final Fantasy, but you play nothing like a modern Final Fantasy. You play nothing like a classic Final Fantasy. And those are two very different genres of games. It doesn't play anything like it. And so that's a very rapid change. Can of paint identity, people accepting that, allows for very rapid, very fucking ridiculous changes, okay? And that could just kill a fucking genre. That could kill an IP. And, I mean, like I said last time, Square Enix cutting $140 million of assets, it's killing the IP. It is 100% not only killing it, but it's like barely holding on. Barely. But there's another game that I used to play a lot of, and this actually fundamentally helped my understanding in terms of game design, even in RPGs, because of what made certain things good in terms of strategy in that game. And it's not even a video game. It's a card game. It's called Yu-Gi-Oh! You probably heard of it. This card game has changed so much that thematically it is nowhere similar to what things are referred to and what things are called. So even the aesthetic, especially the aesthetic theming, doesn't make any sense. The mechanics of it, even when you compare it to classic formats, I mean, my favorite format is Vegas format. 2014, April 2014, Vegas format. Let's go. Alter it slightly, get rid of your Max C, get rid of all of your FTK nonsense, degenerate, certain degenerate floodgates, and then we're having a good time, right? Vegas format is the closest to perfection that honestly any format has had in that game. And it's like, oh my god, it's fucking 10 years ago at this point. It's over 10 years old, which sucks, but the game has gone so far, so gradually, just trucking along, ever so slightly, ever so subtly, just moving along in one direction or the other, where now we have a situation that the aesthetics... Is this snow? Oh, it's fog. Jeez, that's some insane fog. The aesthetics are nowhere near the mechanics of the game. The identity is a deadweight identity. And if another game came along and reworked the theming of Yu-Gi-Oh! Into a different card game, and basically just kept the same lingo and the same style of gameplay, but just went around and just had everything fit so that it was called something else, and the deck building was made in that style, people would play that game. It would be better for people to get into and play. And I realized this when I saw a recent top deck, you know, is got like first place at some regional, and in Yu-Gi-Oh! There are monster cards, spell cards, trap cards, and almost every time people organize their deck and their deck profile by monsters first, then spells, and then traps. And I realized recently that I was looking at this guy's deck, and it hit me that a lot of the other deck profiles, when they're showcased, are all jumbled up. Not completely shuffled, but there are some monster cards over here, and spell cards over here, and trap cards over there. And that is because no longer is it about monster cards, spell cards, trap cards. It's about engine, it's about end board, it's about hand traps, it's about board breakers, and interruptions. Some people will try to change the lingo from interruptions so that it's about, they try to say, oh, oh, these interruptions, these disruptions that people were calling it this way. No. We want people to think that we're fun and interactive now, even though we're objectively far less. And we're gonna call these interruptions and disruptions interactions instead. Even though they're disruptions, even though they stop your opponent from playing the game, we're gonna call them interactions. Okay, they're as much of an interaction as a fucking punch is interacting with somebody's face. Okay? Are they interacting? Sure. Yeah, technically there's an interact. Is that a positive interaction that might be good? Probably not. And so, guaranteed most of these interruptions are just very bad for the game. Very bad. Very bad. And games can take on certain flaws in order to create an identity that people enjoy. Like I mentioned in the past episode, it's the difference between people playing poker versus people playing chess. It's like, well, we have a perfectly skillful game in chess. Why do people play poker if it's less skillful? That's because it's fun. It's fun. People add specific genre flaws to their game because it creates unique and fun scenarios. Now, of course, the issue with Yu-Gi-Oh! In this is that the scenarios aren't unique. They aren't unique at all. And so, even if another game came out and said, yes, we're going to co-opt all of the mechanical stuff and make a new game with the proper theming so that everything thematically checks out with the mechanics and that it looks great and things make sense and the deck building makes sense, everything looks and understands to a good point even as a new player. Everybody's able to digest it easily. Even if they were able to do that, okay? The identity that they would be taking on is fundamentally against game design. Okay? You are not creating new opportunities by flooding the board all the time with either floodgates or disruptions. It is the same shit all the time. And people are worried about, like, oh, well, I don't want it to be this specific card. Well, if it's the specific fucking mechanics, it doesn't make a goddamn difference. It doesn't make a difference. If we're just having like 3 to 4 to 6 interruptions on a board with every single archetype, every single deck, or just floodgating them out as the alternative option, everything's the fucking same. And so what's the point in taking these flaws onto your game if everything's the fucking same? Sounds like the game is just goddamn flawed. It is. And so we have this scenario where the game is not just different anymore. It's not just different in the point where it's like, oh, the theming needs to be changed, or another game could come along and just swoop it over and just be like, hey, we're making a game that actually makes sense mechanically compared to your thematics, or thematically compared to your mechanics, rather. No, you can't do that, because the way that it works right now is so unfriendly to new players and plays the goddamn same so many goddamn times that nobody's gonna want to play that game. They're fucked. It's a fucked situation. And again, like, these fucked up absolute destructions of game identity, whether it's Final Fantasy 14, 16, whether it's modern, very modern Yu-Gi-Oh!, it's only going to lead to the destruction of the brand. It's only going to lead to the destruction of the IP. How many people have been playing past formats in Yu-Gi-Oh! Now? Why have Konami been trying desperately to appeal to past formats with their Ultimate Time Wizard series? it's because they're fucked and they realize they're fucked. It's only a matter of time. And so really it's just, we gotta wait for the shills to stop. Gotta wait for it. Maybe they'll run out of money sometime. Maybe. But we gotta wait for them to stop. Whether it's Final Fantasy, whether it's Yu-Gi-Oh! Gotta wait for it to stop. Now here's the thing. Final Fantasy we already know. Like I mentioned twice already. Down 140 million. Basically not doing AA projects anymore. Things are extremely limited. Oh, check out the acorns. Holy shit, 9 acorns from it. Oh my god. Dude, I have 1.0 modifier. No bonus mats. 9, I think that's the most I've ever seen. I've heard somebody get 10 acorns, but holy shit, 9 acorns, dude. But yeah, we already know that Square is struggling. And yeah, that's just proof of the flop nature of their terrible modern releases. Can't scapegoat it on any of the other decisions, even if they are terrible, like Square Enix NFT bullshit. But hey, people who buy into that NFT shit, they're suckers. But people who also bought these trash ass modern games, they're fucking suckers as well. You might as well have bought a shitty ass NFT. Sorry. I mean, it can just be taken away as digital fucking games, digital gaming is proven. These digital games, we don't really own them, do we? We don't really own them. Some of these studios, man, some of these AAA studios can just take away access to your shit, even though you paid for it. And so, yeah, you're enjoying it, you're having fun with it, that's great, but functionally, some of these money-grabbing AAA games, even if we feel like we have great enjoyment for them, ultimately it's going to be as valuable and as interesting of an experience as somebody staring at their NFT. It's going to be functionally the fucking same. And that's not good, you know. Maybe we should demand some actual quality from our games before we buy them. And now, of course, I have to say, because a lot of YouTubers, a lot of people, when they're out here making big rants, it sounds like they're trying to be accusatory of the audience when they make these rants, of their audience. And that just doesn't sit well with people. It didn't sit well with me in the past, listening to people pop off. And I have to say, guys, you guys in the audience, I cover Valheim. I've dabbled in Elden Ring. I've been talking about Final Fantasy IX recently. None of you guys are suckers. None of you guys in the audience are people that have gone down this route and have entered a world of stupidity and pain. We're all winning because we get to play these amazing ass games for a good ass price. We know how modern gaming works. We know the situation. We understand that when it comes to certain things, some companies are just trying to make a quick buck. And what do? We play games like Valheim. $20 for all of this? Updates still coming free? Despite the quality and the time of certain updates, we still have this amazing game to go through. Time and time again. Even if it's just for setting up a good ass build on your server. Or what have you. Or doing whatever custom run. we're still having a good ass time. Now, there are still going to be some issues that crop up and issues that pop up with Valheim and Iron Gate. And am I going to drop on you some shill bullshit so that we just blindly support this nonsense? Fuck no. Fuck no. I'm going to give it to you straight. I'm going to let you know. And now is the time where I need to let you fucking know, okay? I mentioned in a few videos that their best update in terms of quality to content ratio has been by far the Root update. Thanksgiving 2021 after Hearth and Home. What a legendary update. And they only expanded upon it in future updates and made it better. They've only expanded upon it. And I've also mentioned in the video that if Iron Gate just does a bunch of Root-like updates every 3 or 6 months, they would A, be outdoing Minecraft in their update schedule. And B, well, let's actually plant these, my bad. B, we wouldn't have an issue that we're currently facing and that we've actually faced in the past with the PTB. Oh yes, get ready for a classic Valheim rant. Right now, there are a lot of very, very casual players playing in Valheim Ashlands PTB. And they're doing this because the Valheim release schedule is awful. And if there's new content, eventually they're going to say, fuck it, I want to play this even though it's PTB. I want to play this. And if there are problems, which there are going to be in PTB, then they want to bitch and moan. And the best place is in the PTB chat. And so what happens? People who are just completely out of touch with how the game works are chatting bullshit. And they're being listened to by the devs. Because that's the largest voice in there. Because so many people have played the game and they've only gotten so far, or they've done this and this and maybe not the other thing, or they've only played to a certain point and they haven't engaged with all the content available. Frankly, far too casual, far too limited in scope of what they understand about the game. And if we had them satisfied with more frequent releases of this and that limited content, I don't think they would have the urge to play PTB. I don't think they would have the urge to go muck up conversations about what's actually happening from experienced players that are actually meant to be the testers. Oh, goddammit, it's going into water again. And we wouldn't have people who got the y'all spawn rates nerfed. It wouldn't have happened, right? In the Mistlands, the y'all and Seeker Soldier spawn rate probably wouldn't have been nerfed if their update schedule was better. Some of the spawn rate changes in the Ashlands PTB were pretty good from what I've heard, because it's just unimmersive what happened. But others, from what I've heard, are completely uncalled for, and yet they've been listened to regardless. So, again, update schedule negatively affecting the release of official updates yet again. Oh boy. That's pain. And again, it's like, there are some people that are going to come out with a shill argument that, well, they've made all of this content, what do they really owe the players? And here's the thing, they act like they value the community. They act like they value their game. Up until 1.0, which that's their plan. And yeah, they don't owe it to us, I guess. Fucking, I don't understand that. Like, why wouldn't they? We're the ones who bought the fucking product. It's like, if they plan to make future shit, they should make it right, you know? They should fix shit up, do it right. But let's say they just don't have to care about us at all. They owe it to themselves if they care about the state of the community. They owe it to themselves if they care about the longevity of the game and the quality of the game. If they care about that stuff themselves, then they owe it to themselves to fix the shit. They don't necessarily owe it to us or whatever. You know, we can pretend that we agree on that for a moment, right? We can pretend. But if they believe in community longevity, if they believe in the quality of future updates, they owe it to themselves to fix some shit in somehow. Not to us, themselves, at the bare minimum, themselves. And so I really don't understand. I really don't understand why they don't go out and make root-like updates. I mean, past biomes still have missing gear in them. And I'm not talking like meadows. Like, we all know that there's missing gear in the mountains and plains and mistlands tier. Significantly. Missing tier of gear. And so I don't understand why they don't trickle that in over time. Let players have more fun. Let us experiment. Design stuff with good secondary benefits. Make the balance in the gameplay unique. Time and time again. Shake it up. Let us go through and experience the wonder of beating Yag with something different. Or Modair. Or with the Queen. Or all of them. With different stuff and a different style of run. But no. I guess not. Maybe in the future we will. Okay, let's get some stuff on item stands. We need this. I need some fine wood. Yeah, there's the end of my rant. Let's get one here. Let's put a nice little brute trophy up here. Ooh. Very nice. Very nice. Let's see. We'll go Grey Dwarf trophy here. I'm going to put a lot of Grey Dwarf trophies up. Oh, that's placed wrong. And I put the buckler on there anyway. Okay. There we go. Now, there we are. Looking good. Okay. I think I want to put a shaman trophy over that. Just because there's hogs in there, it's the animals. Let's put another brute trophy over here. Yeah, that looked good. That looks real good. Okay. I do want Grey Dwarf trophies at the sides of the gates here, but that's gonna have to wait a little bit. I want these little areas here for the most part, except for this. I want these little areas to have a trophy as well. I just don't know if I want it to be a Grey Dwarf, or maybe I'll have it be something like Surtling trophy in the future. Let's have it be Skeleton trophy right now, and then I can change out the Skeleton trophies for later because they're going to be a good ingredient for the Dead Razor in the far future. So let's grab these Skeleton trophies, start marking these hidden passages here. Alright. This is pretty set. I don't need to change this. Once you're inside, you know. Let's change this. Ooh. And go over here too. I don't know why I went all the way around, but it is what it is. And okay, that looks good. Okay, let's at least start with some of these Grey Dwarf trophies. Might as well put them here, yeah? Oh, yeah. There's one. There's another one. Let's leave that the same. Oh, this is kind of cute though. Like inside, we'll have a skeleton trophy here. And what else now? I guess we can start doing the gates. We'll start with this one. Let's go for the outside. Yep. Oh, I'm out of the... There we go. Workbench radius. Alright. We're pretty set there. Let's put the skeleton trophies back. And now I need more Grey Dwarf trophies. Let's see. We have... Axes 30, polearms 35, clubs 34. That's okay. That's not what I thought. Clubs 34. That's pretty good. Let's go get more axe levels. Why not? Right? Why not? Let's go get max rested and head back over there for a little bit. I think this time I'm going to stop when I get my first trophy and then start porting over all of the rest of the mats in the chest, right? Still have so much Grey Dwarf mats in the chest over there at the Grey Portal. Cracked my thumb there. Ooh, feels weird. So yeah, what do I got here? Oh, it's a decent amount. No, it's a decent amount. Still really good. I love all that resin. Hey, run 62. I love all that resin. I love all that, all those eyes. Yo! Destroyed that 1 star. Unfortunately, these guys are still hitting the nest with rocks, so it's not very good. Approaching parry. Gotta love that. Projectile approach parry. Oh, hello, brute. Hang on. Let's go over here. Come over here where the fellas won't throw rocks at the goddamn nest. Woo! Smooth. Smooth. Shaman, I need your trophy. Did I just get it? No. I'm getting weird text messages. What is up with this? Okay. Just weird messages. Weird messages. It's not important. Ooh, is that a starred brute? I think it is. I think it is. What are you doing? Let's get 2. Oh, I thought I could get the last hit. Probably could with a sword. Not with an axe, though. Careful placement. Don't want to hit that tree. Don't want to hit that tree. We got a skeleton trophy. Okay. Down. Come on, Brute, I want your trophy. I want that trophy. I'll take the seeds. I mean, that's pretty cool. Alright. Did I forget to put some fine wood away? What am I doing with this fine wood in my inventory? Oh, yeah, I still have the nails. What am I doing? So silly of me. Alright. Let's keep going until I get a trophy. A non-skeleton trophy. I'll take all the skeleton trophies I can get. Ah, a shaman. Perfect. These 1-2s are nice. Come on, I need one shaman trophy would be so nice. Let's get back over here. A brute. I'll take a brute trophy too. Yep. That's just a dandelion. Okay. Shaman. Did we get it? Did we get it? No. I guess I'll have the Buke Paris. Let's pick up. Yeah. I wish we could filter out certain things from getting picked up. That would be so nice. It's like, you know what? I don't want to auto pick up my friend's spear. Which, I mean, that wouldn't happen because none of us play spear. For good reason. But, that would be amazing quality of life for, like, speedrunner duos. You know what I mean? Fucking what else? Yeah, of course, you know, dandelions, but I'm sure everybody can make good use of that idea somehow. Axis 32. Axis 32. Got a regular Grey Dwarf. Nice toss. Come hither. Yeah. Ah, brute. Sir, come on. Where are you going? Hello? Alright, yeah, whatever, dude. Proactive strats. Why not? And why not? You know what? When enemies wander, why not just fucking kill them? Why not kill them? I remember there was a, when the Mistlands AI changes were made to Seekers, and people were like, oh my god, Seekers are so easy, I can just like stand there and wait for them to attack, and they won't kill me. And it's just like, okay. It's so bad. That's such like scraping by mentality. Do you want to just scrape by, or do you want to dominate? You know? What a shameful Viking that mentality would have made for it. That's awful. But, you know, aesthetics of the Viking aside, you can see how just like a lot of the time, when enemies are just wandering around, I'm just gonna fucking kill them, right? You know? You don't wait for them to come back and attack you so that you can parry them. You parry them when it's relevant to parry them. But if they're wandering around, just fucking kill them. Just kill them. And if they're coming right at you, just kill them anyway. And so certain enemies, it's like, you have to worry about their actual moveset and like certain bad things or good things about them. It's not just as deep as like, oh, they wander around a little bit. That means that they're easier or harder. No. You have to look at the other aspects of the enemy. You know? What's their damage like? How much damage? What damage type? This sort of thing. Yeah, okay, let's just fucking... That wasn't a very skillful brute kill, but I don't care at this point. I'm just looking for... Oh, a Grey Dwarf trophy. It's pretty solid. You have to think of if there are any tricky habits to their moveset. Oh, I actually want that resin. Or, like, how do they react when they get staggered? What's their actual stagger threshold? Like, Grey Dwarf brutes and other enemies are 50%. Most enemies are 30%. You know, how do they react when they get staggered? Think of golems, for instance. They have very specific staggerings based off of what you parry. Like, what's the best opportunity to get damage in? Go Seekers, well, you flank them. So if they're coming at you, you can just jump over them and take them out from the back. Or you can just fucking run around them like this and just flank them. You can just use the sprint key, use the shift key and just zoom to the side. Like, how hard is that? How hard was that? Or just intercept them with a at-gear middle mouse, or, you know, a Frostner middle mouse or something like that. Like, it's not difficult. So it wasn't difficult when they were coming right at you. It wasn't difficult when they were running around. It was functionally around the same. And it was actually, considering a current stagger bug right now with Seekers, still getting their attack off if they're staggered, even if the animation gets cancelled, which is a terrible bug. That should be fixed any day now. Not will be fixed any day now. Should be fixed any day now. They don't seem like they care about fixing that bug. But with enemies wandering around, that actually makes them harder. With that bug, it makes them harder. It's fucked up, but it does. It does, especially in situations like Infested Mines. When you get cramped and you're trying to act your middle mouse, or just do anything staggering related, and it's a cramped situation, well, guess what? Some of them are probably going to be facing you, in which case, you're going to get tagged. Oh, and you won't deserve that, getting tagged. You won't deserve getting hit in the slightest. But it was cramped. You had unlucky RNG. Yes, it was luck. It was luck that got you killed. You know, it's fucked up. It's fucked up. It shouldn't happen. It should not happen. And yet it does. It's a definite issue. Oops, stone. I should put the stone resin back. Resin. Stone. Look at this collection of stuff. Let's see. Let's put the nails back. Yeah, I'm just going to put stuff back at the moment. I might just farm more stuff off screen. Off camera, just looking for trophies. Let me know if you want to see these trophy farmings on screen, off screen, whatnot. I think I might do it off screen and then just start amping up the production in terms of I should have repaired while I was back there. Amping up production in terms of like building certain structures, because I'm going to be gathering so much wood, making a bunch of coal, and then eventually going out and getting more bronze. Eventually. Although I might do that off camera too, at the end of it, because, well, it seems even less interesting than killing Grey Dwarfs. Who knows though. Depends what you guys think and what you guys want. Do let me know. And thank you for watching. I'll see you guys some other time. Bye.